Today we're going to talk about when fat is too much, or how do you know when it's too much? Welcome everyone to my humble life. Let's get into the fat. When consuming fat, when is it too much? So let's break down the top ways when you know you're having too much fat and why. If you find yourself only counting the fat on your meat and you're trying to hit 200 grams of fat from your ribeyes, it's already too much, because you're also going to include the protein. I count the fat on meat and I kind of don't, because what you guys don't understand is the white marbling effect on your steak or ribeye is made out of protein fibers. What drips to the bottom of the pan, that's actually pure fat. So you have to take things in a matter of context. So if you're eating tons and tons of ground beef or ribeyes because you think you're hitting the 200 grams of fat based on what the package says, you are sorely mistaken, because a lot of that fat is actually protein. Unless you are saving the drippings from the pan, but it's way too much fat when you're trying to eat a bunch of ribeyes to hit 200 or 300 grams of fat. You're also having too much fat when you have gallbladder symptoms. So let me go over the top ones. Top one, diarrhea, loose stool, floating stool, pale stool, yellow stool, greasy stool. Super important to look at your poop. If you got half floaters, it's your gallbladder, because what's making the poop float is the fat in your stool. Your fat is too much with those darn gallbladder symptoms. So we got pale stool, and that is because you're not utilizing the fat and it's in the stool, so it will lighten up the color. The middle of the stomach pain, middle to back, neck pain, shoulder blade pain, bloated, nauseous, vomiting. Those are all gallbladder symptoms. That's if you have one that's sludged up or stoned up, or you don't have one at all, you can have those symptoms. Now, I've done several videos talking about solutions in terms of, do you do bitters, do you do malic acid or citric acid or taurine or glycine or TUTCA. There's a lot you can try, and you're going to have to try. Everyone is different. Some do well with just lipase. Some need the whole barrage. The last reason you'd really consider having too much fat and being careful is if your blood sugar is running too high. Get a glucometer, my people. It's so important. You don't get fat on fat. Your hormones are what make you fat. Insulin, estrogen, thyroid. If your blood sugar is running high and you eat fat, like if you have over 100 milligrams per deciliter, sometimes even over 95, and your A1C is running in the fives, and you have fat, you're not going to use that fat. You're going to store that fat when your blood sugar is running high, because the body will not use the fat and convert it into ketones. It'll just store. It's not the fat that's the problem. It's your broken, that's a fly, hormones. Those are the three reasons. There's more. But when you find yourself like, I can't eat any more fat, it's not the fat. It's your gallbladder. And when you're gaining weight, that's your high blood sugar. And you don't have to eat carbs to have high blood sugar. It's a thing. And then also understanding that you can't have too much fat, or you can rather have too much fat if you're eating a bunch of steak trying to get to the fat. Just eat less steak and use rendered fat. Pour it on your food, put it in a glass of hot water, or have it solid form, and for example butter, a bite of meat and a fork of fat. And of course, how you know you're eating too little fat is very easy. If you are eating too little fat, you're gonna feel tired, you're gonna feel a little depressed, you're gonna feel a little anxious. Your thyroid might start to become underactive. You start to gain weight when you're eating too little fat because your blood sugar keeps skyrocketing. A lot of people think that a spoon of fat is enough fat. It's not enough. Your sleep can become down-regulated without enough fat, animal fat. And your skin starts to look dried out when you don't have enough animal fat, because fat gets into the dermis layers of the skin, and that's what we want. Comment below. Are you eating too much fat, too little fat? Too little fat would be, if you're trying to be ketotic, it's anything under 200 grams. If you're doing low carb, high fat, it's anything under 100 grams. Which one are you? Comment below, share this content. And I'm tired, so I gotta edit this right now. Because, yeah, I've taken over helping my mother 100%. And I have to interview a few more electricians to get my power going. Peace. Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. Facebook fan page is Stephanie the Business Person. You can book a consultation through stephanieperson.com. I run a course through stephanieperson.com. You can sign up there and wait for the challenge.